morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Grape family. I hope that you're all doing well, and I also hope that you enjoyed the mini crypto pump that we had in the past few days. And if not, you're probably living underground. So, without any BS, let's just dive straight into this video. And by now, I'm sure you will all know what I am going to start with. The first thing that we are going to take a look at is the price of Grape. Grape traded sideways at $0.05 for quite some time, after which we saw a slight increase in price, and right now Grape is trading sideways at $0.06. The liquidity is still strong at $150,000 with a market cap of $280,000. Recently, we haven't seen any Grape burns. The Grape that was earned by the DAO is sitting in the DAO wallet. LB has mentioned that he plans to split the LPs and then send the Grape to the burn wallet. LB has decided to keep some grapes in the wallet. Splitting the LP and burning some grapes would not be a bad thing, since it will somewhat shallow the liquidity and will give greater price actions. But it is a double-edged sword. It can harm us the same way it can benefit us. So yeah, that is all for the Grape token. Let us now move on to the wine token. Wine was also trading sideways at a range between $2 and $2.5. After going barely below $2, the price pumped and reached almost $4. And it looks like the people that bought at $2 took some profits, and right now wine is sitting at $3. So what do you guys think? Will wine go up from here, or it will continue to have a downtrend? Make sure you comment your predictions down below. In terms of liquidity, we haven't seen any drastic changes. The same goes with the market cap. That is all for both of these tokens. Let us now take a look at the NFT collections by Grape Finance. We all know that the winery collection NFT does not have a major use case right now, apart from the fact that it gives you some tickets to use every week in the casino. And because of that, we have seen a continued downtrend in the floor price of the winery collection. If I am not mistaken, the floor price of the winery collection NFTs has been down below 1 AVX for almost 2 weeks now. LB in the AMA has stated his intentions to bring some sort of utility for the winery collection NFT holders. So fingers crossed, let's wait and see what happens with the winery collection NFTs. That is all for the winery collection. Let us now move on to the second NFT collection by Grape Finance, that is the vintners. The vintners floor price has again went below 1 AVX. This is a really rare sight when talking about the vintners. In terms of volume, the volume in the past 7 days has gone down significantly. But worry not, updates are coming to the winemaker game that should inevitably help the vintners NFT collection. Stick till the end of this video because we are going to talk extensively about the winemaker game. That is all for both of these NFT collections. Let us now move back to the homepage of Grape Finance to talk about the presses of Grape Finance. The first press that I am going to talk about is the wine press. This week we didn't see a significant increase in the contract balance of the wine press. During the previous week, the contract balance was sitting at 7,100 winememe LP tokens compared to this week's 6,900 winememe LP tokens. Talking about the presses, it seems that there is going around a lot of confusions regarding the wine press and other presses. Well, remember this, when you deposit in any of the presses, you are essentially being paid back in shares. So, when you exhaust those shares, you will be no longer be paid from any of the presses. Also, the price of the shares keeps on increasing due to the actions of others in the presses. So, technically, the best thing to do in any of the presses is just to sit around and let the actions of other participants increase your payout. Anyways, LB has mentioned that more simplification and education for the presses is coming. So Fizzle, you better get your crayons out. That is all for the wine press. Let us take a look at the second press, that is the grape soda press. Here too, the contract balance in the soda press hasn't gone down significantly. During the previous recap video, the contract balance in the grape soda press was sitting at 98,000 grape x grape LP tokens. And this week the contract balance is sitting at 96,241 grape x grape LP tokens. In the soda press, you're essentially earning double returns because, as we all know, X grape always goes up, or rather the backing of the X grape always goes up. Here too, the best thing that you can do is compound, or you can just sit around in the pool and let the actions of others increase your payout. That is all for the soda press as well. Let us now move on to the final press, that is the solera press. This is the first time in weeks that we haven't seen a significant increase in the contract balance of the solera press. The contract balance in the solera press this week has barely increased from 2.8 million S vintages token. What do you guys think will happen to the contract balance in the next week? Make sure that you post in the comments what you think will happen. That is all for the three of the presses. Hopefully at the month end we are going to see a new press coming in. So you better stick around till the end of the video to know which press it's going to be. That is all for the presses and all other things regarding the grape finance. Let us now do a quick recap of what was discussed in the previous AMA. Let's just start with vinium. We are seeing a healthy increase in the total market size for both the main markets and the isolated markets in vinium. Main markets and isolated markets combined, vinium has a TVL of more than $100,000. That is a good sign, showing that people are actually using vinium. But moreover, we definitely still need more borrowers in vinium, because borrowers are the ones that generate revenue. Now let's talk about updates regarding vinium. Now we all know that vinium is running in the Arbitrum testnet. I'm happy to let you all know that the Arbitrum testnet for vinium is going great. We had a slight issue with the UI, but it wasn't a big deal and it had something to do with the RPC. We all know that the mainnet works just fine, so there's absolutely nothing to worry about. A good news is that LB has mentioned that he will be talking over at the guys of the Arbitrum team to help us with the launch on Arbitrum and also with liquidity. This is absolutely huge, guys. There are lots of good opportunity on Arbitrum. LB has mentioned that we can also employ some leverage strategies on Arbitrum. So Arbitrum mainnet is coming really soon, sooner than you expect. So who's excited for vinium launch on Arbitrum? I know I am. That is all for vinium. Let us now talk about the winemaker game and what was discussed in the AMA regarding the winemaker. First up is resetting the skills. Right now we can reset the skills all in one go, but it can happen that we can burn some vintage tokens to reset a skill level. Unfortunately, the contracts for skills are non-upgradable, but still LB mentioned that it is possible in a different way. Let's see how LB takes this suggestion and implements it into the winemaker skills. Next up, a community member asked, are there any plans to make vintage valuable? We all know how hyperinflationary the vintage token is. Right now the strategy is to get S vintage token and use that to get wine. But in the future, we all know that the winemaker game is going to get a complete revamp. By then, LB mentioned that a significant demand for the vintage token will be created. The in-game users will not only be incentivized to hold vintage, but to also use it. This is going to be one of the major updates happening in the next few months in the winemaker game. That will be one big step towards making the winemaker game independent and its own thing. Lastly, when Annotaker updates. The Annotaker update is right around the corner and it should take 1 or 2 days depending when this video comes out. So this week for sure. There was another interesting question asked by one of the community members in Grape Finance. The question was that can the S vintage stakers earn anything in terms of revenue? Now we are talking about blue chips or possibly stables. Unfortunately, the revenue from the vinium will not be going to the S vintage holders. But wait, there's another way around this. If the winemaker game becomes independent and becomes its own thing, then we can generate some sort of revenue from the game, which then can be used to distribute among the S vintage holders. Can you imagine that? S vintage holders getting paid in blue chips? But I think we are a bit far from that, so don't get ahead of yourselves. That is all for the winemaker game. Let us now discuss the casino for a bit. Now, there may be a possibility where the players in the Grape Casino can be rewarded in the winemaker NFTs. These NFTs could be the tools or the vintners NFT collection. LB mentioned that to make this a possibility, he will have to talk to the developers of the casino game. And by the way, this idea was given by our most valuable grape, that is Doug Oz. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. That is all for the Grape Casino. Let us talk about the Grape ecosystem for a few seconds. Firstly, a good news for the node holders. We finally have a time on the migration of the nodes. At the end of this month, the nodes will be migrated into the press. The nodes migration might see birth of a new press, or it can get integrated into the grape soda press. Lastly, a few people were confused that the wine may not receive revenue from all chains. Well, answering this, wine will definitely receive revenue from all chains. No matter which chain Vinium generates revenue from, both wine holders and the Vini token holders will get revenue sharing from all the chains. So yeah, that is all for the updates and for the AMA recaps. On an ending note, I would like to thank you all for supporting Grape Finance and sticking around in the hard times. This is the time where we support the community members and also the team. We all know that LB and other team members are more than capable of delivering on their promises. Times are tough and we all know that gems are made in tough conditions. And hopefully, Grape Finance survives this bear market along with Vinium and turns into a gem. That is all for this week. Hope to see you around in the next week's video. Thank you and take care.